This is so exciting. Thank you very much. By the way, I got the biggest kick out of looking at the bus and thinking of Esther driving that in circles. It was very funny. I'm loving
their clown nose.
Yeah, right. I love what you're saying about past experience bringing us into now and what we're able to choose as far as manifesting for ourselves. I'm hung up on one thing and would like some help with that, which is a past something, which is polio and being paralyzed. And all of the information that I'm getting from, quote, the experts talk with me about the path that is what will be my future. And I know because of fear that I'm creating some resistance there. And I would like to be rid of that so that I can move on. I'm also having to teach my clients. They're asking me these questions. Can we change our cellular structure?
Well, yes. But there are a number of things that we want to give to you about this in order to give you a sort of basis of expectation that will serve you. If you could go to the physician every 5 or 10 minutes for the next month or so, they would find all kinds of things that you wouldn't normally find because your body is constantly cycling. You are like a veritable chemical factory producing the balances to imbalances and so forth. And so as you realize that your bodies are constantly changing, then you realize that diagnoses can change too. Usually, people do not change their thought very far from the reality of what they are living, which means when they find themselves in the middle of an experience like a disease, a dreaded disease that they don't want to have, when they find themselves in the middle of it, most people give it their undivided attention. In fact, most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. So what happens is, as you observe something through the eyes of an expert who is using all of those special lenses to look into your body, and that information that they give you is counter to what you want, it is logical that you would feel fear or strong negative emotion because the thought that is being activated in response to what you're giving your attention to is contrary to what's over here in your vibrational escrow. Now, the thing that physicians, for the most part, are not factoring in, they are scientists. They are taught to examine what is, to use what has been as the basis of what they expect for the future. But the part of it that they are leaving out is that out of the contrast is born a desire that the larger part of you is embracing. And so, without meaning to, their well-meaning in their negative diagnosis, their well-meaning negative diagnosis is often the very thing that keeps you from being able to be a vibrational match to what you are wanting. And so, you have to accept that you have this action journey, which for now is the state of your body and even the diagnosis as they've given it. That's just what is. And you can't change what is this red hot minute. It's just what is. But you have enormous flexibility in the vibrational patterning that you offer. But the vibrational patterning can't change very much if you keep looking at what is. So very logical people, scientific people say, well, please do not ask her to be delusional. Please do not ask her to look at things the way they aren't and pretend that things are different than they are, for she should face some sort of fact or reality. And we say, we would never face reality unless the reality contained everything that we are wanting to continue to replicate into the future, because whatever you're facing, whatever you're observing, whatever you're beating the drum of is what you're activating in your vibration. And if you're activating what you don't want, you're keeping yourself from what you do want, and that is the reason that there is huge variable in who gets sick and who doesn't, and how long they're sick, and whether they are able to have a very strong disease and then shake it. It's all about this vibrational variation, which you have tremendous control over once you know that you do.
So a question about that. If we create these ourselves, how as a child does that happen?
Well, it's such a good question, and we certainly understand why you would ask it, because the thing that is at the bottom of that is people assume that because a child isn't speaking, that therefore the child isn't thinking, and therefore the child isn't offering a vibration, while you learn your vibrations from your environment. And so there is much that goes in your vibration. We talked about that earlier. We said, if you've got a vibration going on that is contrary to your well-being, and you don't know it, so you don't do anything about releasing the thought and turning downstream, don't worry, it will get bigger. And if you still don't do something about it, don't worry, it will get bigger. Vibrations begin even when you are in your mother's womb. Vibrations begin when you are very little. In other words, there are all kinds of vibrations that you have access to, that you pick up on. The question is, what do you do about it when you do have conscious awareness of it? And so it is not an uncommon thing at all for a powerful teacher to come forth, experience strong contrast early on, which causes them to give birth to many rockets of desire. It is one of the reasons that so much of your population triumphs when someone overcomes some great adversity. The adversity itself gives birth to stronger desire. And when you find the way, and it's a personal path that everyone must find, when you find the way to come into alignment with your more powerful than ever desire for physical wellness, the physical wellness must be. But you must disregard anything that causes you to feel that fear, because that fear is your indication that right now at least you're not doing it. Many of them are coming to understand that it is in optimism that people have more recoveries. That's why people recover from the diseases they believe there is recovery from, and they don't so much from the ones that they don't. In other words, if the doctors say we have a very good process for this, or we have a very good surgery for this, or we have very good results from this or this or this that we apply, they get much better response from their patients than on those subjects where they believe that they have no methodology to assist them, you see. We always really, really like it, and don't take this the wrong way, we know you won't, when somebody gets themselves into a corner where there is not a physical action recourse, where their only recourse is to clean up their vibration, which is really the only thing that worked anyway. They just didn't realize it. People sometimes even come to us. They're in a jam, and they want from us a statement of a more improved future. And we always want to give it to them, but we don't want them to continue their pattern of needing a condition to change so that they have a relief or an improved feeling in response to the condition. We want them to get the feeling of relief regardless of the condition, and then the condition will change, you see. So let's talk about it. So start where you are. You put your boat in the stream wherever you are. Just make some comments about this subject from where you are, and let's see what's going on.
I don't want to be crippled again in my life. I don't want to have to rely on other people for my well-being.
All right, now stop for a moment, and that's just fine. It's logical that you would feel that way and that you would want that. But for those listening in, did it feel upstream or downstream?
Oh, it's way up. Yeah.
It's all right. So now reach for a more downstream.
It feels really good to be able to walk.
All right, well, that's downstream, but it was a little bit of a reach. In other words, start where you are. You see, here's the thing we think you're missing, and it's all right. And here's the thing that we think a lot of people are missing. So you get it that a negative thought doesn't serve you, and that a positive thought will serve you more. You get that?
Yes.
But the idea that I must now turn my negative thought into the positive thought, that's the thing that we're wanting you to understand, that we're not asking you to do. We're not asking you to jump that far on the vibrational scale. We're just asking you to take the negative thought and make it feel a little less negative. The game we're playing is, we just want you to find relief now. We're not trying to cure your illness. When physicians stop looking for cures and start looking for vibrational causes, they'll find their cures. It's the vibrational cause, you see. So what we want you to do is just find relief for the sake of the relief, not for the sake of the cure. We want you to find relief for the sake of the relief, because the relief is palpable in this moment, and the relief is energy moving. You're not looking for the cure. You're not looking for the perfect action. You're not looking for the perfect thought. You're not looking for the best thought you've ever thought. All you're looking for is a soft relief from where you are. I don't want to be crippled. Again, I don't want to be dependent on other people. Those are pretty strong thoughts and feelings, and we don't blame you a bit. Now, make a statement with the singular intent of giving yourself a little relief in the moment. I don't know that that's where I'm headed. The doctors don't know about me specifically. They don't know about my vibrational relationship between where I am and who I want to be. They don't know what was in my vibrational escrow before I was born. They don't know what the disease itself put into my vibrational escrow. They don't know that I understand about law of attraction. They don't know that I understand my guidance system. They don't know that I'm working every day to bring myself into alignment. They don't factor alignment into any diseases. They're measuring things in different ways than vibrationally. I'm going about this in a different way than they know. It's not wrong of them to give me the statistics of how things have gone before. I understand that they're just covering themselves in terms of liability, and they don't want to give me any sort of false hope. I get that they don't really know about vibration, and that they're dealing with this in the best way that they know. I'm not trying to be a phenomenon. I'm not trying to be something that nobody's ever done before. I'm just looking for a little relief here, and I'm sure that I can find it. Look how far I've come. This disease has not progressed in my body anything like it could have or like it often does. I am already different than most have been relative to this subject, and I can be different still. Everything's all right with me. I don't have to figure everything out this red hot minute. I'm doing all right. I've certainly found relief. My body knows what to do. I have trillions of cells that are all interacting within me, and the better I feel, the more they are able to cope with whatever they are coping with, and my body is serving me very well. There is no reason for me to take the most negative scenario and place it in front of myself and torture myself with it, and that's what I've just been doing. I'm not even crippled. I'm walking just fine. None of that is part of my experience, and yet I'm taking this negative what if because someone's afraid to give me hope, and I'm amplifying it, giving myself full view of it, and of course I'm feeling fear. My guidance system is alive and well. I think I'm doing extremely well.
You gave me the words. You're wonderful. Thank you.
And then don't worry about it if the fear comes up again. In other words, just talk it down. Just soothe it down. Take the emotional journey first. The emotional journey means I seek relief first. And what that means is my vibration shift. And what that means is my body comes into alignment. And what that means is I get the results later on. But because I can't see the results right now, does that mean I should hold myself apart from all of that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Very good.
I'm so glad I bought the CD. Thank you very much.
Well, we don't want it to be that complicated. We don't want you to mimic our words, because our words are not magic. We were just feeling around. It was just a crapshoot for us too. We were just feeling around for anything that we could feel, and you know, we just rambled and rambled and rambled and rambled and rambled with the idea of making you feel better until we felt something click within you, and then when we felt a little opening, we really went for it. And that's all your work is, you see.
So that I can do with myself. I mean, I do have a tendency to stay stuck and get very
most people do, but it's because you're overthinking it and you're looking at the reality. Say to your doctor, you are scaring me to death.
I have.
And then say, got any positive things to say? And if your doctor says, well, that's usually not the way this goes, then say, could we talk about something else? Say to him, I think I could help you cure me if you'd stop scaring the life out of me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Say to him, I can tell that my body wants to be well because it calls me toward wellness all the time. And I get bipping along and I get on these optimistic jags and I get feeling better and better, and I swear I can feel the response of it in my body. And then it's time to come back and have another chat with you.
Yes.
And then I have days and days and days where I'm gripped by fear, and then my symptoms begin to support the fear that I'm gripped by. I can feel an absolute correlation between the emotion of this disease and the reality of this disease. And so, doctor, I love you dearly and keep giving me the drugs, but I'm going somewhere else for my highs.
Yeah.
Remember that there is nothing that is right and nothing that is wrong. And nothing that we're trying to talk you out of, and nothing that we're encouraging you to do.